Aloha, everyone. So, today I would like to discuss anxiety, depression, and insomnia because they are all very much connected. And all of these issues stem from nervous system issues. So, within our body and our nervous system, our nerve endings have a sheath that covers them, and that sheath consists of organic calcium. So, anytime our bodies become deficient in calcium, and this can happen from drinking too much coffee, alcohol can do it, consuming too much sugar, not getting enough nutrients, this can definitely create a calcium deficiency within the body. What ends up happening is that sheath that covers your nerve endings starts to break down, therefore leaving your nerve endings exposed. And they almost look like frayed wires within the body. And those are responsible for communicating with each other. And so what ends up happening is they start to misfire. And we start to experience different symptoms such as anxiety, depression, insomnia. You can start to get shaky. There's all sorts of different symptoms that can happen because of your nervous system starting to shut down. So the most important aspect is obviously your nutrition. So making sure that you're getting enough nutrients with the foods that you're eating. So staying away from caffeine, dairy, and dairy is probably the biggest culprit for calcium deficiency because we are not meant to consume milk from cows. Cows create milk for baby cows, not for humans. And interestingly enough, Americans consume the most dairy out of any country in the world, and we have the highest osteoporosis rate. So that tells you a lot. So drinking calcium or drinking milk, taking any kind of dairy products, cheese, things like that, create calcium deficiency within the body. Caffeine will do the same thing. Artificial sugars, different things like that create calcium deficiency and therefore can create not only anxiety and depression and insomnia, but also hemorrhoids, varicose veins, issues with your teeth, loss of hair, the list goes on. So really when you're dealing with these types of issues, and especially I want to kind of touch on insomnia because that's a big one that I get hit with a lot recently. But like I said, they're all connected. So really what you want to concentrate on is cleaning up your diet, making sure that you're getting enough cruciferous vegetables, having a plant-based diet, making sure you're taking a good multivitamin. Like I take the Vital Herbs every day. I made a video on that previously. And that helps fill in those nutritional gaps because it's really hard to get all of the nutrients that we need just from our food. So I take that Vital Herbs formula, 3 capsules 3 times a day. And then on top of that, what you want to do is you want to take a good herbal calcium formula. So these are all herbs in their whole form. They're not isolated chemicals, and these are all herbs that are extremely high in calcium. So this formula has shaved grass, nettle leaf, oat straw, and lobelia, which are all, like I said, extremely high in calcium. And what that does is it helps repair that sheath that is covering your nerves. Therefore, over time, it's going to clear up any of those symptoms of anxiety, insomnia, depression, different things like that. And on top of that, and when you take that formula, the more you take, the better, especially if this is something that you've experienced for a while. Usually, you have symptoms of calcium deficiency, such as issues with your teeth or hemorrhoids, varicose veins, things like that. And then it turns into, insomnia, depression, just anxiety, different things like that, or vice versa. Or you can experience the insomnia, the anxiety, the depression first, and then as it gets worse, it turns into, the hemorrhoids, varicose veins, osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is calcium deficiency at its worst. So really paying attention to the signals that your body is giving you and starting to work on these issues as they come up is huge. But you can reverse these things over time. It just takes longer. Anything that's been a chronic issue, takes a little bit longer as opposed to something that is acute. So on top of the calcium formula, what I recommend is this formula called Relaxes. And this has herbs, they're nervine herbs. So they help heal the nervous system and therefore helping you sleep. Because like I said, lack of sleep, anxiety, and depression are a byproduct of your nerves and your nervous system not being up to its optimal health. So this has black cohosh, cayenne, hops, lobelia, which is a fabulous nervine. It's probably one of the best. Skullcap, wood betony, mistletoe, and valerian root. So between the lobelia, the skullcap, and the valerian root, those are like probably the top 3 nervine herbs that I recommend and have used for 14 years. So the Relaxes is amazing, and it's not a formula that is going to make you tired during the day. There's no side or after effects like that. What it does is it helps heal those nerve endings and your nervous system. So it's best to take it for a long period of time. So you want to take it all throughout the day. It's not something that you just have to take before you go to bed. It's not going to work as efficiently. For some people, if it's an acute issue and that's all they need, then that's all they need. But for most people, it's something that you take consistently every day, all day. And then over time, what you start to notice is those symptoms dissipating. So along with the herbal calcium, the way that I take that Relaxes is I take 2 to 3 capsules 3 times a day. Now, if you have a lot of anxiety to the point where you're having like anxiety attacks, you need to be taking a lot of this. So you could be taking it every hour, every 2 hours. There's no such thing as taking too much, because what your body does is it takes all the vitamins and minerals from those plants in their whole form, and it utilizes what it needs and it expels the rest without any issues. It doesn't hold on to any of them. It doesn't store them in any parts of your body. So there's no way that you can take too much. So the more you take, the better. So you kind of have to gauge on a scale of 1 to 10 what you're dealing with, how bad it is. If it's just a little bit of anxiety throughout the day, maybe, a little bit of trouble sleeping some nights, 2 to 3 capsules 3 times a day should be efficient. If you, like I said, are to the point where you experience panic attacks, then taking it every hour, every 2 hours is going to be really beneficial, along with taking that herbal calcium formula, making sure that you're taking a good multivitamin to fill in those nutritional gaps. Like I mentioned before, I use the vital herbs. And that's on the physical level. And also making sure that you're exercising. That's huge for anxiety and depression, to release those endorphins and those happy chemicals within your brain. So exercising, making sure you're getting out in nature, getting out in the sun, meditating to quiet the mind, doing different things like that is very beneficial, because we're multidimensional beings. And so nothing is ever really just on the physical level. We really have to be looking at all the different levels and working on all those different levels. And journal writing is huge. That's really important, especially for depression and anxiety, to just get those feelings out. And in a safe place where you don't have to worry about other people's feelings or being politically correct or whatever it is, just getting them out, releasing them so that you don't hold on to them, and then you can move through them. So I will put the link in the comment box below, drchristofersherbshop.com. That's where you can purchase all of these herbs that I discuss. And if you'd like to set up a personal consultation with me, you can reach me at sarah@mauiherbalist.com, and I will also put that in the comment box below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a beautiful day. Mahalo.